Okay, so what we're going to do today is learn how to add filters on SPSS. Should be pretty quick. All right. So let's say I wanted to know how much TV Americans watch. And specifically, I want to know how much TV people watch based off of how happy they are. Because I think that people who are happier maybe watch a little less TV. They've got things going on, friends, places to be. People who are maybe trying to distract themselves or feeling lonely, maybe they watch a little more TV. So let's see if we can figure that out. So the first thing that I'm going to do is just look at Americans in general. So I've got my data set here, and I've got a nice little variable for TV hours, which is variable 17. So just how many hours of TV do you watch per day? So let's run a quick descriptive stat just to see what the average is, what the standard deviation is. So to do that, I go to Analyze and then Descriptive Statistics and then Descriptives. Click on that. And let's go ahead and kick in our, I right click, display variable names, make it easier to find. So let's find our variable. I've got TV hours here and hit OK. And SPSS gives me just a very quick rundown. So I can see that the average TV hours per day is exactly 2.5. So the average American's watching 2.5 hours of TV a day, and standard deviation of 2.25. So the question is, how do I know if there's a difference, or what is the difference between different levels of happiness? And in SPSS, there's a really easy way to filter things. So let's go to data, and you can do it a few different ways. We can talk about select cases maybe, but honestly, the easiest way to do most of this, if you're just trying to get some basic statistics, is to split the file. So I click on split file, and I'm going to choose a variable. This is going to be my independent. So my independent is happiness, and my dependent is TV watching habits. So I'm going to go ahead and use the happy variable and choose compare groups. So I want to compare groups based on happiness. And once I have that, I hit OK. And I've got a filter on. And notice down in the bottom right of SPSS, it says split by happy. That means I have split my data file by happiness. So now I can go analyze, descriptive statistics, descriptives, and I still have TV hours in my dialog box because I left it in from last time. So just hit OK. And when I do that, SPSS gives me this little output where I can see how much TV is watched per day by people who are very happy, pretty happy, or not too happy. And here's what we find. We have a mean of 2.3 for very happy, 2.5 for very pretty happy, and 2.68 for not too happy. In other words, the less happy you are, the more TV that you're watching. So my general hypothesis seems to have some support here. Also notice the standard deviation increases, meaning the less happy you are, the more inconsistent that TV watching becomes, or that those habits become. That's kind of important too. A lot of that has to do with group size, which we won't talk about yet, but as your group becomes bigger, you've got more consistency usually. Okay, let's take a look at one other thing that we can do with filter. So I'm going to go to data, go back to split file, which is where I was before, and then you need to hit reset because we have to take this filter off. If I don't do that, I'm going to mess up everything I do from now on. So you hit reset and then you hit OK. Notice that split file is off on the bottom right of my screen, so I know I don't have that anymore. Another way you can filter, you can go to data and then go to select cases, which is the second from the bottom. And this is just if I just want to select specific cases. So in this case, again, I just want to look at people who are very happy. So I'm not looking at the different 3 degrees. Let's say I only want to do data analysis on very happy people. And I'm just going to do a bunch of stuff. So the easiest way to do this, I know under the happy variable that the first option, I should probably, before we do that, let's look at the data set just to make sure you understand. If I look at the happy variable, which is variable 9, under values, I click on my little button here, and it says that very happy people are 1, pretty happy people are 2, and not too happy people are 3. So that's important. You got to know that going in. I go to data, I go to select cases, and I'm going to click this little button that says if condition is satisfied. Click the if button, and then display variable names. I'm going to find the happy variable, kick it into the dialog box, equals 1. And what that tells SPSS to do, just give me people who are very happy. That's all I want. Hit continue. And then you have a few different options. You can, do a few things here. One thing you could delete out unselected cases. And what that does is it actually deletes everyone who's not very happy. So the people who are pretty happy or not too happy, they're kind of gone forever. So I don't suggest doing that. Unless you really are just trying to pare down your data set forever, then that's okay. But we just want the filter on. So I can hit OK. And notice on the bottom right, it says filter on. And then anything I do from this point is actually going to be done with only people who are very happy. So that is the basics on filtering in SPSS. Don't forget to shut your filter off. So anytime you do something, you hit reset, OK, and then you're good to go.